Good afternoon, dear students. Today's topic is Panchakosha theory. Yoga is an ancient Indian science and way of life which brings about relaxation and also induces a balanced mental state. It's also a practice intended to act at physical, emotional, intellectual and even at spiritual levels. This yoga program is derived from principles in ancient texts like Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and Taittiriya Upanishad, which emphasize that yoga should promote health at all levels. We'll see what are the levels later. But another ancient Indian text, the Mandukya Upanishad. The Mandukya Upanishad considers the body as three parts, namely the physical part, we can see later, which is the physical part which is called as Sthula Sharira, a subtle or inner part, Sukshma Sharira, and the causal body is Karana Sharira. We'll see, you'll understand. Now the theory of body constitution and health, which is nothing but Panchakosha theory. According to the yogic tradition and concepts, there are 5 compartments of human body, and these 5 compartments or koshas are, first one is Annamaya Kosha, which is called physical body, Pranamaya Kosha, which is called pranic body, Manomaya Kosha, which is mind body, Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellect body, and Anandamaya Kosha is bliss body. Now there are 3 shariras. In introduction I have said, that is Sthula Sharira, which is gross body or anatomical sheath. Next is Sukshma Sharira, which is a subtle body or the subtle frame consisting of physiological, psychological and intellectual sheath. I'll repeat. Sukshma Sharira, which is a subtle body which consists of physiological, psychological and intellectual sheath. Next, last one is Karana Sharira, which is a causal body or the causal frame which is spiritual sheath. Next, we have koshas. We have already seen there are 5 koshas, that is Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. Now let's see what is kosha. Kosha is referred to as sheath. In English it is referred to as sheath, S-H-E-A-T-H. One of 5 coverings of the Atma or self according to Vedantic philosophy. According to the Kosha system in yogic philosophy, the nature of being human encompasses physical and psychological aspects that function as one holistic system. The Kosha system refers to these different aspects as layers of subjective experience. Layers range from the dense physical body to the more subtler levels of emotions, mind and spirit. Atma is wrapped inside Pancha Kosha. Hope you understood what is Kosha. Now let's see. This is Koshas. As I said, there are 5 coverings of the Atma or self according to Vedantic philosophy. Now let's see. The Annamaya Kosha, which is outer layer. Okay, the Annamaya Kosha, which is outer layer, which includes the digestive system of the body, which is a gross body. And next to that we have Pranamaya Kosha. Next layer is Pranamaya Kosha, which includes respiratory, circulator, nervous, endocrine, excretory and genital systems. Next one we have Manomaya Kosha, which is a mental sheath, affects the functions of awareness, feelings and motivations not derived from subjective experience. And next to that we have Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Affects the intellectual process of reasoning and judgment derived through subjective experience. And next we have Anandamaya Kosha. This is Anandamaya Kosha, which is a bliss sheath. It is a sheath of joy, is the experience of being aware oneself, and it is felt by the sadhaka. Means a person, the one who does yoga is a sadhaka. When he wakes after a deep refreshing sleep and when he is totally absorbed in the object of his meditation. It is nothing but bliss state means samadhi state. Okay. Skin encloses all the sheaths in bodies. It should be firm and sensitive to the slightest movement. All the sheaths are intermingled on their different levels from skin to the self. Hope you understood the Panchakosha, the layers of koshas. Okay, next we'll go for applicability of Panchakosha. We understood what is Panchakosha. Now we'll see applicability of Panchakosha. Its first one is Annamaya Kosha. It's a physical sheath. It's affected by physical problems due to wrong postural habits and following sedentary lifestyle, and which is rectified by yogasanas. We'll see in detail. This Annamaya Kosha, it is the outermost sheath. We saw it already. It's the outermost sheath. Through this sheath, the food taken in our body which gets absorbed and assimilated. Food becomes an essential part for an individual to survive. Food habits differ from person to person and from one place to another. When the person takes food, it helps in development of an individual. Whenever a person consumes foods which are not conducive or irregular and improper food, then the Annamaya Kosha may get vitiated, may get disappeared something. This leads to impairment of Agni and hampers the functioning of gastrointestinal tract. Then the person needs to resort to Upavasa, Yogasanas, and which helps in correcting Annamaya Kosha, or it's also called as Tattva Shuddhi. Okay, this nothing but we have to take proper food. That's what they have said, sedentary lifestyle. We should follow a proper lifestyle, eating proper food, not eating too much of spicy, not eating too much of salt. Then we can correct our digestive system, and which is rectified by doing regular yoga and also following proper diet pattern. Next one is Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya Kosha, it's a vital sheath. It's affected by wrong breathing pattern and which is rectified by pranayama. This sheath is identified with the breath through which an individual breathes in air responsible to keep the person alive, that is prana. By this prana, the body and the mind are held together. The correction of this kosha can be done by practicing pranayama, as we said already. Next, since this kosha is related to nadis in our body, now about nadis you will understand when I take pranayama class, which are influenced by prana, acupuncture and magnetotherapy act on the nadis, which help in reducing the vitiation of pranayama kosha. That you will understand later about the nadis, don't worry now. Here pranayama plays an important role wherein it is a science of breath. It is the one around which wheel of life revolves, just as wild animals are tamed slowly and cautiously, so also prana should be brought under control slowly and gradually according to one's capacity and physical limitation. One who follows One who follows propels rhythmic pattern of slow deep breathing. Their rhythmic pattern strengthen respiratory system, soothe the nervous system and reduce the craving. When desires and craving diminish, then the mind is set free and becomes a vehicle for concentration. Actually, we have discussed already, in order to get concentration, first we have to do pranayama. We have seen in Ashtanga Yoga, first we have to do yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. In pranayama, when you concentrate on your breathing, you'll gain like you'll get that technique to concentrate in further, like in like meditation. It helps for meditation. When you can concentrate on your breathing, it helps in practicing meditation where you can concentrate for longer time. Next one, let's see Manomaya Kosha. It is the third layer, which is also called as mental sheath, which is affected by mental afflictions and occupational mental stresses, which is rectified by yama, niyama, dharana and dhyana. We know already about Ashtanga Yoga. Manomaya Kosha, every person would have been under some kind of stress in their daily work. When the person is unable to withstand this stress, then the functions of mind are hampered. In order to maintain the calmness of mind even in stressful conditions, there are certain therapies which can be made use of through our sense organs. That is, there are some therapies, aromatherapy, music therapy or pleasant clothing, meditation, etc. We have to meditate. That's why they say people who are under anxiety or stress, or those who get panic very easily, they have to practice meditation. These act by soothing the mind, relaxing the mind and thereby helping good thought processing. It is nothing but having control over the senses or the sense organs. If their rhythmic control of breath, the senses, instead of running after external object of desire, turn inwards and man is set free from any type of things or any type of stresses. That's why they say we should not have desire for some objects, external objects. Then like we should not expect anything from anybody, then we'll be happy. Now let's see about Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is also called as intellectual sheath, which is affected by workload and overstress, and which is rectified by Pranava Japa and Dhyana. Pranava Japa means chanting one mantra like Omkara, or your religious like Amen, or some religious purpose, whatever mantra we use, that we have to chant repeatedly. In Vijnanamaya Kosha, this kosha exists in connection with manas and panchendriyas. Okay, panchendriyas, no need to understand, just it's a motor organs. Okay, it's a panchendriyas, it's a motor organs. When a person develops intellect, he is able to make out what is wrong and what is right. So this kosha can be corrected by means of meditation to relax the mind, which has a role in the Vijnanamaya kosha, and also psychotherapy or some counseling is helpful in correcting this kosha. Dharana Dhyana plays major role in Vijnanamaya kosha. Now we know what is dharana. Dharana is, it's a concentration. I have said already, Omkara, when you focus, it will become dharana. Dhyana is meditation. So these two techniques will help in correcting Vijnanamaya kosha. Now let's see what is Anandamaya kosha. It is the end state. It's a blissful sheath affected by psychosomatic ailments, which is rectified by Abhyasa and Vairagya, which is leading to Samapatti state and later Samadhi. What is Abhyasa? Daily practice. Vairagya means detachment from external objects. Like as I said, you should not have desire on external objects. Whatever you have, you be happy with the present things. Anandamaya kosha, this is a kosha which is active when the person is happy and cheerful. All those good deeds which make a person happy can be done to correct the vitiation of this kosha. Here concept of santosha can be brought into discussion. Santosha is a contentment that has to be cultivated. We have seen about santosha when I took Ashtanga Yoga. A mind that is not content cannot concentrate. A mind which is not happy, we cannot concentrate. The yogi feels lack of nothing and so he is naturally content. Vairagya and Abhyasa are the major tools in the Anandamaya kosha. As I said, Abhyasa means daily practice. Vairagya means detaching from the external objects. This is more about Annamaya kosha, which is a grossest health, which constituting the physical form of the body with biological functions. Its a component is made up of solid matters or Pancha Mahabhutas, which are Pancha Mahabhutas are the elements, 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. Prithvi, Aap, in Sanskrit, Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu and Akash. Now let's see about Pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is a sheath composed of prana. It's a vital principle or the force that holds together the body and the mind. Its physical manifestation is the breath. As long as this vital principle exists in the organism's, life continues. Correct? No? When we have prana, our life continues. Yogic literature mentions the presence of 72,000 pathways along which the prana moves in the human body. It is about nadis. I'll explain later when I take pranayama class. Nadis are hollow tubular organ which is present in your body. So they are saying prana flows within that nadis to give the energy throughout the body. So there are total 72,000 nadis in our body. These pathways cannot anatomically be seen. We cannot see it anatomically, but the existence of some of them seems to have been proved indirectly by using acupuncture needles which is tipped with radioactive phosphorus. Okay, let us see about nadis when I take pranayama class. Next, little about Manomaya kosha. It's a component, it's still more subtler than the prana. Okay, Manomaya means composed of manas or the mind. A mind along with the 5 sensory organs. Which are the 5 sensory organs? Taste, smell, vision, hearing and touch is said to constitute the Manomaya kosha or the mind sheath. The Manomaya kosha is a mental faculty that receives all the sensory inputs, interprets them as good or bad and decides the good. This kosha is much more powerful than the preceding 2 koshas and governs them and is in turn governed by the 2 koshas superior to it. Okay, so they are saying this component actually any disturbance in this kosha which results into pathological state called stress. As we have already seen, it's a mental sheath. A chronic worry or the tension or the disturbance in the mind because of anxiety, there creates a disharmony. Okay, a continued disturbed state of Manomaya kosha which percolates into Pranamaya kosha, which consequently settles in any part of the Annamaya kosha. And this is a course of pathological events which manifest as psychosomatic disorders. About psychosomatic disorders, I'll explain it later when I take yoga and holistic health class. Okay. Now about Vijnanamaya kosha. This body's component is a site of knowledge, we have already seen, and it's a site of wisdom. It's a discriminating faculty of the mind which governs the functional quality of Manomaya Kosha. It is also referred as conscience, which is a highly evolved in the human being, differentiating man from animals. We already know, see, how can we differentiate animal and man? It's because of a mental, it's because of a knowledge. It's a they say, differentiate a monkey from the human being. It's because of a mind. Next, about Anandamaya Kosha, is the end state. It's the innermost kosha, is a close proximity of the soul. This kosha is a reflection of the three divine qualities of the soul. They are said like that. It's the finest component of the human body, which is though after achieved when a person attains the holy features or he is truly contented and happy. Okay, yoga practice helps to achieve this state. A true yogi, he dwells in this state of deep silence, no further desires whatsoever. That's what I said. If you have desire, you cannot achieve this state. You should be completely detached from the external object, then only we can reach that state. Okay, yogic management, which provides various techniques to revive back the normalcy or balance of each kosha. How can we correct each kosha? How can we correct the Annamaya kosha? By practicing asanas, means yogic asanas, and by practicing kriyas. About kriyas, you will understand. Kriyas, as I said, there is Sutraneti, Jalaneti, Vamana Dauti. Sutraneti means inserting a rubber catheter from the nose and taking out from the mouth. Jalaneti, in a pot, we put water, warm saline water, and insert through one nose and take it out from other nose. All that kriyas. In order to cleanse your internal body, we are practicing kriyas. Okay. And by following proper diet pattern and by doing relaxation exercise, we can correct Annamaya Kosha. And how can we correct Pranamaya Kosha? By practicing pranayama practices. Okay, by how can we correct a wrong breathing pattern? By doing the pranayama practices and even doing breathing exercises. And how can we correct Manomaya Kosha? By doing meditation and also doing devotional sessions. Devotional sessions means by chanting some mantras and by doing bhajans. Vijnanamaya Kosha, how can we correct? Correction through counseling, by taking proper counseling. See, people who are depressed, if they take counseling, their Vijnanamaya Kosha can be corrected. Or if the person is depressed, their Vijnanamaya Kosha gets affected. Okay, see, actually these all are diagnostic method in yoga. How can we diagnose? By seeing the person's condition, you can think which kosha is affected. By that way you can give the treatment. That is the thing. How can you correct Anandamaya kosha? By practice joy and harmony, by staying in harmony state. And what is the ultimate conclusion? The ultimate goal of human life is to move away from the Annamaya kosha and remain in the Vijnanamaya kosha most of the times, and progressively move into the Anandamaya kosha, which is a state of blissful being. Development of all the five sheaths is necessary for man's complete spiritual evolution and ultimate union with the divine. As we know the definition of yoga, union of individual soul with the universal soul, ultimate union with the divine. Hope you understood. Thank you.